Alright, if you're new to the RC hobby, a good episode would be, what is on your workbench? Well, guys, I can't stress enough. Invest in buying a screw kit. K&K makes a cool screw kit. I just got the generic, I think the $80 packet or something. But it gave you all the screws. Dude, these will come in handy. Also went out, got black screws as well. As I take off screws, I will put them in different things, organize them. I can't count how many times I need a screw for something. The other thing is, don't be afraid to invest in, say, the LED packet that, flash, give brake lights, all that good garb, because these right here are not 12 volt DC. They're not 7.4, and they come off of I don't know what you call it, off the receiver that come with like axials, things like that to run some of the LEDs. That has saved me when I've blown those things or pulled the stupid leads off. Bought these Entity things or Turnigy. Nah, I'm not using them. They're too much of a pain in the ass. Heat shrink, some grease, the green goo, so to speak, when you're green slime, when you're rebuilding shocks. Some Dean's connectors or whatever you prefer to use. Have some extra of those things, man. Got some micro switches. Here's a little LED controller for stop, all that garbage. I don't get into that. Some foam. You never know when you need to secure a battery down. Extra wire, things like that. Here, I've got steering horns, galore. Now, these are the stupid plastic ones that come. But, dude, you just never know. Now, I've got about 15 rigs right now, so I went out and ordered the dollar shoe horns, or the steering horns there. These things work. They're not axial. They're not, the best out there. But they work when you got 15 rigs and you can't afford $15 a pop for each one. Things I have here is these are nuts that I mark coming off of, say, some Vanquish rims that I've got. Save these little baggies, dude. You'll be surprised what you'll use those things for. But I mark each one because I save all that stuff, organize it. Some extra wheel nuts, you'll lose those out in the field. Anything you take off, these are SCX, shock mounts that I've taken off and used metal ones. Another cool thing here, get out on eBay, do something, but buy extenders if you need to extend cables. This will be a lifesaver right here. Now, 9 out of 10 times, I may just need this end. I'll cut it, solder it, heat shrink it, do it the right way. But this gives you, an extra cable that you may need. The other thing you may need is a Y adapter. Again, when you're getting into electronics, man, what you don't want to do is wait when you have to, put stuff in and then wait because you don't have the right parts. So that's a Y adapter. One power in, 2 powers out. That'll power some LEDs. Don't be afraid to use some beer. Sometimes jobs will be 10 beers, 5 beers, depending on what you need to do. But have plenty of beer on hand. This is a parts organizer. I haven't used it too much yet, but, if you get into things, take things apart, gives you a lot of little cubbies to put crap in. Spare parts, little things like this, you'd be surprised what that'll buy you. Ox guard. This stuff right here will keep your stuff from corroding, arcing, causing you all kinds of trouble. It does not connect or conduct electricity, so it will not improve the connection, but it will definitely save you from getting everything corroded, especially if you like to run into water like some of these guys do. A drill. Dude, you're going to need a drill because nothing fits. You got a drill. Spare cable. You see it right back there. Peel it off as I need it. Hammer. Whatever. The other thing I got here is for us blind folks that get into things and they need to see things, magnifying glass, because sometimes you get into projects that are pretty small and you need to be able to see. Resting, I don't know what the hell you call it, resting hole spot, I don't know, for your soldering iron, that's it. Helping hands, alligator clips, dude, you'd be surprised what you need. Clean your soldering iron, again, helping hand here. You can get this kit, I don't know, man, it's like $20 from from Parts Express in Springboro, Ohio. Grab you one. I run Ryobi. This is for my Phillip tip. You don't have a lot of that, but sometimes I'll use this guy as a backup because I'll use the small, I don't even know what millimeter it is. Let's pull it out here. The 1.5 millimeter going to the 2 millimeter. That's a common thing on RC cars. So I have this. Also got the DeWalt gyroscope. You know, that right there is what I use the most. You put it in, turn it whichever way you want, loosen, tighten. It works. This right here, this is a dynamite kit. It failed on me because I used it a lot. But it's not a bad kit. Still gives you some cool stuff. Keep it around. It's good for the trail. I did go ahead and buy my Dynamat. I don't know what size this is, but you know, the small nut driver, the one that you need to get your wheels off, because I just don't like going back and forth, man. You need tools. You're doing a lot of stuff. You need the tools to do the project right. Things you're going to need: a field bag. You're going to need this field bag. You get out in the field, you need to make repairs, you're going to want some things with you. I throw some steering horns in there. I got a soldering kit. I may put a shock mount, a C-hub. You never know. Wire strippers, guys, let's not use. That is not a wire stripper right there. That's for cutting cables. That's a wire stripper. I think you're going to need, you know, I got a soldering station right over here. Sorry about the workbench, a little dirty, but soldering station, because again, you can adjust the heat you want. You can turn that on. It's got a good place to put the soldering iron so you're not going to burn it up, burn your projects. With that, this is my fave right here. This thing's not cheap. It's a Weller. It's butane. The cool thing about it is when you're soldering, you can also heat shrink because it has, let's get in the light here, has a port on the side that gives you heat so you can heat shrink, but it also solders. No darn cord to get in your way. That thing, love it. Buddy brought it over, didn't think it was worth a crap until I saw him using it. I've never gone back to cordless. Yeah, corded except for that bad boy over there. Get a labeler. You never know, man. When you're making connections up, you're changing things. Like I just did a major overhaul on all the electronics on my Wraith tonight. I use this labeler because it kept things straight. Gonna need a laptop if you got Castle products. Can't say enough about these right here. These are not for the faint of heart. They're about $70 a pop for 4 drivers. I know there's other products out there, and I'm not knocking it. You have to buy Vanquish because VP makes some good stuff, things like that. But nonetheless, these drivers right here, I've used the shit out of them, and they work. The tips stay solid, all of that. Keep everything organized, keep it up there. The other thing I bought, driver bits. This works for that bad boy right there. If you're doing a lot of work, like I've got about 12 hours in today doing work on my RCs, really changing things out. These bad boys come into play, and you're going to need them. Again, they're Vanquish, so I know I'm not going to have any issues with them. Model paints, in case you want to do some touch-up work. Glass of beer, need that. The other thing that I got right here, you're going to need some 3M tape. You're taping our, receivers down, doing things like that. Do it right, man. Don't let that shit fall around and bang around. I got 2 different sizes. I got wide, I've got narrow. I've got, if you're going to cut your body, you need to make some adjustments. You're going to need these type of scissors here. They are rounded. Got a reamer. Yeah, you know what? You can go to any hobby shop and pay like $20 for this thing. Or you can get smart, go to Harbor Freight and buy it for about $4. That'll save you. I'll wrap some of this stuff up here while I'm talking. But, get an organizer. Stay organized. I'll put my products in here like this. And you're going to see that, I try to stay organized as I'm working because time is money. Time is everything. We don't have enough of it in life. Extra motor, weights, wires, whatever, man. Just keep it. You never know what you're going to come across. But that's my organizer caddy right there. Rubbing alcohol. You're going to need that to keep things clean. When you're using that 3M tape, you want to use rubbing alcohol to keep it clean. You're also going to need some oil. Shock oil right here, 1530. I've been running 15 all the way around. A lot of people think that's not enough resistance, but hey, I like it. It's whatever you want. There's 30 in the background. Loctite. You need Loctite. Everything has to get Loctited down. Don't use the red stuff. Don't be stupid. Use the blue. This stuff's made to come back off. Things like that. Things I have back here. Silicone spray right there. That dries. Dry. It's not wet. Doesn't leave a residue. But I do and spray that to keep from getting, you know, stuff gunked up with rust and whatnot. Probably the number one thing I use right here, dollar cup. That little bad boy right there, you can get like 4 of them from the dollar store. Or you can be stupid. You can invest in that piece of shit right there. It doesn't work. I'll give you an example. Put a Wraith up on it. Yeah, problem with this here, that doesn't give you enough clearance. You can't run it, and the wheels drag. You can't do much with it. Sorry, I just broke my Wraith, but nah, it's a test fit body. That little dollar cup right there is all the rage in the world because it allows you to do anything you do to your cars. Gives it enough clearance, gives it enough stability, you can do what you need to do. You need to get into the front. You lift up the front like so. Put the cup up there like you need, and you're off and running to the races. So that's what's on my workbench. You know, I've got other things. I got a hammer, I've got a heat shrink gun, things like that, battery charger, stuff like that. But keep it clean. If you can afford it, I recommend getting another, you know, RC car. You never know. There's some of mine underneath. When you need a body, you need something off of that, or you're going to need one of those over there. I've pilfered some of those things. Most of them are complete. I think the only thing missing anything is that right there. I took the four-wheel steering unit off to do my Wraith. But yeah, if you can afford it, definitely get an extra car because you never know when you're going to take parts off, do things with it. So that's what's on my workbench. Towels, you know, anything that helps you. Good luck. All right, some things I forgot here. Invest in one of these, man. They work to keep your stuff organized. You can see, yeah, don't lose anything. May wind up on the wrong side. But there's a magnetic dish for parts, crap like that. The other thing, you know, I was on the fence for this because I didn't think I was going to use it that much. But I went ahead and invested in it. It is the Castle Link. I run a lot of the Castle products, a Sidewinder for all my rigs typically have that one right there because I like it. It works for me. It's common on all my rigs. So I went ahead and bought this Castle Link. So I do recommend that. I think it's $20, but dude, you know what? It's worth it because you can program your own stuff and it works. The other thing I got, and I didn't make mention of, is Bondix. Bondix is a glue. It is a ultraviolet glue, meaning this thing is really good for filling cracks and crap that happen in your body when, like, you rip an accessory off, leaves a hole. You can put tape on the one side of it, the outside, fill it from the back slowly, but you put this stuff in there. It's kind of like super glue. It's clear. You squeeze it in there, and then when you get it in there, you hit it with this ultraviolet light, kind of an orange purplish color. That activates it and it gets hard. But that's really good for filling acrylic, or not acrylic, the Lexan bodies. That wasn't my idea, dude. I just researched it and found somebody did that and used it. And since then, I bought it off of, I think QVC. You could get 3 of these things, 3 vials, plus a light for $20, which is a hell of a lot cheaper than most places. So that's an add to what I've got on my desk.